So welcome back to another video on our second channel, and in this video we're going to break down the tier list for our SMGs now. So we've covered the sniper rifles, the assault rifles with some tactical rifles in there as well, and we're also now going to break down the SMGs. Now, the SMG category is my favourite category inside Warzone. I love close range gunfights, and I know a lot of other players do too. And this is going to be one where I'm going to find the most difficult, I think, because I love SMGs and they need to be perfect for me to like them a lot. Now, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe as we make a lot of these kind of tier list videos. We're going to be making a spectating series on this channel as well for Warzone content. And if you're from our main channel, make sure you subscribe over here because we greatly appreciate it. So let's get into the tier list first, and then I'll give you some class setups for some of my favourite SMGs. I love SMGs in Warzone, and I hope we can start using them again in Season 3 because no one is using any SMG right now because the FFAR1 is so good, but you just don't get the movement that you need with an assault rifle that you can get with an SMG, and that's why I love them so much. Now, getting into this list, like I said, we're just going to quickly break down the tiers now. So top is perfect, the second one down is fries. Then it cooks, obviously, because it's not quite frying, but it's cooking. Then it slowly roasts because it's not really doing too well. And and then lastly, if you've ever seen Gordon Ramsay, then you should know what the last one is. But anyway, so in terms of the SMGs, we've got the AK-74U. Now, where I would recommend this gun, I don't think this gun is an SMG currently. It just doesn't feel like an SMG at all. Overall handling is quite slow. Now, if you like ARs a lot inside Warzone and you want to run a double AR combo, then this is the gun to use because you can actually use this as an AR that uses SMG ammo. And if you use the reinforced heavy barrel with the GRU suppressor, you get tons of bullet velocity. The bullet velocity is just as good as an assault rifle. Now, yeah, it does have a damage drop off earlier than most assault rifles. But like I said, you can still get away with this gun at those longer ranges. Put an optic on it, do whatever you need to do. But if you want to run a double AR, the AK-74U is the best. But as an SMG, it's just not up there. I don't even think it fries that well. I think, like I said, it performs better as an assault rifle, in my opinion. I'll put it right here. Actually, I need to put it here. I have to put it here. It is good. I would definitely pick it up as ground loot. But that's kind of where it ends, to be honest. I would not use it probably in a loadout. The AUG I do actually like from Modern Warfare. I think the AUG is a great gun, especially with the 5.56 conversion ammo. Again, turns it more into a kind of assault rifle. But you do get the higher damage profile. The movement's a little bit better than the AK-74U. And you do get an overall decent gun that you can use as an SMG. So I would definitely pick up the AUG. I think the AUG's a great gun. Clean iron sights as well, which is very handy when you're talking about SMGs in this game. So I'm definitely a big fan of the AUG. I liked it inside Modern Warfare. I still think it's pretty decent, but it's nowhere near as good as the FFAR1 or the other options that we have available. Then we have the Bison. The Bison slowly roasts now. Now, I would have put the Bison higher before the integration because the mag on it is insanely big, but considering we have the BULLFROG now, and the BULLFROG actually destroys in Warzone, the BULLFROG is so close to a perfect SMG. It's got a huge mag, which is just a huge bonus. Time to kill is decent, so that's good. Movement's good as well. Iron sights are relatively clean. Not the best, but it's definitely good. I think the BULLFROG could be perfect if it had a few more tweaks, mainly to movement, to be honest. That is pretty much it. Bullet velocity, you know, that kind of stuff is pretty good with the BULLFROG too. I'm going to put it here because I think it's actually a really good gun. Cold War MP5. Cold War MP5. This is a tough one for me because I do like the time to kill on this gun, and I like the fact that it doesn't have an open bolt delay that the MAC-10 does. It has the exact same time to kill as the MAC-10 once you're firing, which is great, and you don't get the open bolt delay like I said. Iron sights are not great on this. I don't know why the iron sights are so bad. And then also the movement is just not as quick as some of the other SMGs in the game. So, I don't know. The recoil is weird. If they fix the recoil, that's going to be much more viable. But it's definitely viable still. I'll put it in the fries category because the time to kill is still pretty decent. Overall handling's okay. And if you try to control the recoil as best as you can still probably do pretty well with it. Fennec, again, it's one of those ones where it's so close to being perfect. It could be a perfect SMG. Movement with the Fennec is just so quick. If you have the right build, you can fly around the map with the Fennec. The mag is a bit too small in my opinion. Now, I know all the Cold War guns have like huge mags, and that's what makes them like so OP, but I don't think the Fennec would be overpowered if it had an extra 10 rounds in it. I think it'd still be pretty balanced, especially considering Cold War guns are in the game now. The Fennec is so close to being a perfect gun. Time to kill is pretty good as well. It's not better than some of the other guns like the Cold War MP5 or the MAC-10 or stuff like that, but definitely still a decent competitive time to kill, which you can absolutely use at closer ranges once the FFAR gets nerfed, obviously. But like I said, it's damn near close to a perfect SMG as well. Iron sights are relatively clean too, so you can't really complain too much at the Fennec. ISO, oh my god, the ISO, it's just like a bad Fennec, really, isn't it? It's just a bad Fennec. I'm gonna have to put it there. It's just gonna need to go there. Like, I don't remember, there's nothing memorable about the ISO whatsoever. Like, I don't remember having a good clip with the ISO. I've fully leveled it up and fully unlocked it. I don't remember any good blueprints for the ISO. I don't remember anything about this gun whatsoever. It's literally like a long forgotten gun. KSP, I think this had a buff, right? I'm pretty sure this had a buff, but even since then, I've not really used it. I'm going to put it here because I've not really used it, and it could probably be better than the ISO. I don't really see anything being much better than this gun. Sorry, I don't see anything being much worse than the ISO. So I'm going to put it here. I don't think it's going to be better than the AK-74U, in my opinion. I just think it's a burst fire SMG. Why would you want that? If it does good damage, then sure, but burst fire at close range, just not a good thing. LC-10, good SMG, man. Really, really good SMG, actually. It's a pretty solid SMG. Again, fits in that same kind of category as the AK-74U, as basically being like almost an assault rifle. It has decent range, decent damage drop-offs, has low recoil as well. So as an SMG, probably not the best, but as a sniper support, which both of these guns could really do. So like I said, not the best in terms of overall movement and that kind of stuff as an SMG, but sniper support would be great. Does perform pretty well, has a decent time to kill, decent range, low recoil, so it's not a bad gun whatsoever. MAC-10 is obviously top tier, we all know that by now. The only issues I have with the MAC-10 personally is movement. I think movement is pretty slow with the MAC-10 compared to something like the Fennec or the MP5 from Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare guns just move a lot quicker, in my opinion. And we're not talking about the strafe speed here, and that's why the MAC-10 has a great strafe speed. But we're talking about just like general sprinting, tac sprinting, that kind of thing. Modern Warfare guns just do it a little bit better, in my opinion. Just overall movement just feels smoother. But then if you consider the strafe speed, consider the magazine size, the time to kill, all that good stuff, the clean iron sights on the Gallantry blueprint, the MAC-10 is really hard to beat because it has a much bigger mag than some of these other SMGs as well, besides the Bullfrog, I guess. So the next gun is the... If you like that gun, then you're weird. Okay? That's all I'm saying. Okay, MP5 has to be perfect. Man, this gun was perfect. This gun was literally the perfect SMG before the integration, right? This was the best SMG in the game. Now, if you build this gun right, you have that collapsible stock on there, you fly around the map, you've got a decent time to kill, it's balanced as well with the magazine. Oh, the MP5 is just like the best SMG in the entire game, man. Like, if every other gun gets perfectly balanced, the MP5 is like the perfect SMG inside Warzone. I'd happily go back to using this gun once again because it's just such a good gun. There's not really much I need to say about this because everyone knows, everyone was using it before the integration. It's literally the perfect SMG. MP7, definitely fries, man. It's kind of one of those ones where it kind of fits into this category right here, where it's kind of like one of those better sniper support guns. Again, doesn't have the time to kill potential as like any of, well, pretty much any of these guns right here. Actually, I'm going to have to put it down a bit, but just considering how fast the time to kill is in Warzone right now, Nah. It fries. Definitely fries, man, because I remember using the MP7 in season like 1 and 2, And the MP7 is just a great gun, man. The MP7 is really, really good. It is decent at longer ranges. It's good at close range. Overall movement's pretty good too. You've got a huge mag on there as well. The MP7 is definitely still a decent gun. The P90 I quite like, actually. There's something about the P90. It doesn't do a lot of damage. Doesn't have the best time to kill, but just something about the P90 just feels... It feels good, man. I can't really tell what it is, but it's not too bad. It doesn't kill like super slow or anything. I don't mind the P90, honestly. I know these other guns probably, KSP probably kills a bit faster than it, maybe. But honestly, I don't mind the P90 whatsoever. So I'm putting it right here. Striker, yeah, I don't know, man. The Striker's bad. Uzi can go here too. If you use the 80 rounds, I think the Uzi can definitely go in that category as well. The movement on the Uzi is really good if you put like the fastest movement attachments on there. So you get really quick movement with the Uzi, which is cool. But other than that, it's not really the best. It's got decent iron sights as well, though. But other than that, the Uzi's not really got much going for it compared to obviously these other weapons up here. But let's move on to giving you some class setups now. So let's get into this LC10 build. So the way I would do this is agency suppressor. Like I said, it depends on the way you want to run this. If you're running this as like an SMG, then you're going to want to go for maybe no barrel because it's got decent bullet velocity as it is. But if you're going for like a kind of hybrid to use as sniper support, the reinforced heavy or the task force, which I would recommend the task force because you get that faster strafe speed. Then under barrel, you want to use the field agent grip. It's probably the best for controlling recoil. Honestly, you could probably do without this grip entirely on this gun because recoil is so easy to manage in general. Mags, you want to go for the Stanag 55. Stock, either the Raider or the SAS combat stock. One of the two. Both are going to give you decent strafe speeds. And then the last attachment, I would go for the... Is it the Serpent Wrap? Wait, why have they removed all these attachments? Serpent Wrap. So that is the way I would build the LC10. Like I said, no recoil controlling attachments because the recoil is already really easy to manage on this gun. And then the rest is just all to get that fast strafe speed and also a faster aim down sight time. And the irons on this gun are pretty good too. Moving on into the Bullfrog now. Now the Bullfrog class I use is this one right here, and I'll show you the Bullfrog class. It's the one I actually used earlier on in terms of my stream today. So this is the Bullfrog class I was using. And this is basically the best Bullfrog class. The bullet velocity in the Bullfrog is decent enough to manage at close to medium range. The GRU suppressor definitely helps with that. Bruiser grip to help with the hipfire accuracy. 5mm laser to help with hipfire accuracy as well. Stanag 85 round mags, which is just a huge magazine, especially considering the time to kill for this gun. And then the Serpent Wrap for that faster ADS time. But this is the way I would build this gun for sure. This is the perfect build for the Bullfrog in my opinion. Now some things you can swap out. You can swap out the rear grip for no stock or the laser for no stock. That's just personal preference. But this is definitely the way I would build this Bullfrog. Moving on into the MAC-10 now. This is my usual class setup for the MAC-10. I've not really changed this all that much recently. So I'll quickly just put it on screen for you to see just now. And that is the class I use. The Raider stock gives you faster strafe. So does the Task Force. Agency suppressor is just common sense. Stanag 53 round drum is the best mags for this gun. And then the Serpent Wrap for the faster ADS time. Of course, you want to use that Gallantry Blueprint, which I'm not using right here. But that gives you the cleaner iron sights as well. And this is the best class setup for the MAC-10 in my opinion. Moving on into the AK-74U now. Now, like I said, if you want to use this gun as an assault rifle, basically, then this is the build you should be using. So the GRU suppressor, the reinforced heavy barrel. Now, you could go for the Task Force because the recoil is not all that much on the AK-74U. But the reinforced heavy, definitely a great option. Then you can go for the Spetsnaz grip. Then for the mags, you want the biggest mags possible, which is the 50 round drum. But you don't want to go for the faster reloading mags. You want to go for this one. And then lastly, you could choose an optic or whatever you want. The Microflex is a great option. But that is basically an assault rifle build on the AK-74U. And I think it performs really well as an assault rifle because the bullet velocity is so good on this gun. But you do need to keep in mind that you do get an earlier damage drop-off than you would with any assault rifle. Moving on to some Modern Warfare guns now. So we've got the MP7. Now, a lot of people use this build for the MP7, which pretty much is one of the best builds for the MP7, because I think the MP7 has multiple great builds. So this is kind of the overall general consensus. Everyone knows to use this class setup for the MP7. But personally, I actually quite like the strike barrel as well. The strike barrel is definitely a great option. Sometimes I would use no grip and maybe use no stock as well and run the MP7 like this. There's tons of different ways you could run the MP7 because it's such a versatile gun with low recoil. And you could even go for faster rear grips, for faster aim down sight time. Sleight of hand would have been a great option as well if the attachment actually worked, but you need to stay away from that. And like I said, there's multiple ways to build the MP7, but the overall general one that most people use is this one right here. This is the kind of overall build that most people use. Moving on into what was once the best gun in all of Warzone, the MP5, and the attachments for this are pretty straightforward. Mono integral suppressor for the barrel, Merc or Commando foregrip. Some people like using the Commando, some people like using the Merc. Personally, I'm a Merc fan. Then we've got the 45 round mags, the laser, 5mm. Then at this point, you can choose either stipple grip tape. You could choose, well, you could have chosen sleight of hand again, but it's broken at the moment. Or what's my favorite is the collapsible stock. Now, this does hurt your recoil, but it allows you to zoom across the map so quick. So there we have it. There's a tier list of all my favorite SMGs and giving you some class setups based around my recommendations as well. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, as we're going to be making tons more content regarding Warzone and other games right here. And we're also going to be live streaming on this channel too. And thank you very much for watching.